Spider-Man, Star Wars, and more. What was on the hot comic book list this week, and should you consider buying those comic books? Let's take a look at the list this week and consider that question. Hi, I'm Christopher, aka the Bronze Age Nerd, and this is my top 5 not to buy series of videos where I take a look at all the hot comic book lists, Key Collector Trending 20, CBSI Hot 10, and COVRPRICE Top 10, and I tell you which I think are the 5 worst investments on those lists. Don't forget to follow along because we do track those prices 6 months and 1 year later to see how those books perform. First on the list is an easy one for me. This is a 1 in 50 ratio for Poison Ivy number 11, the foils that they've started doing. This Seb McKinnon cover is a very cool artsy style cover, but there's nothing key in this issue, and when you see a hot ratio cover that doesn't have anything key on it and it isn't necessarily sexy, those don't usually hold value. That's what lands it on the list this week for me. I'm curious to see what your thoughts are on it down below in the comments. At number 4 on the list, we have Star Wars Hyperspace Stories number 1. This is the 2023 version. There is another Hyperspace Stories number 1. This one was a Celebration exclusive, and that's pretty much all there is to it. It's a Jackson cover, whatever. Celebration's over. It's in the rearview mirror. Some Star Wars collectors are going to be seeking this book out, I'm sure, but other than that, that's pretty much all we've seen from this. I've seen better Celebration covers do worse over time, so I have a feeling this one's not going to hold any long-term value and will be easier to pick up in the future. Next up, we have Infinite Crisis number 3. This is the first appearance of Jamie Reyes, who becomes the new Blue Beetle later on in this same run, and that would be the book I would pick up, not this one, which is just the first appearance of the character, not the first appearance of the costumed hero. Over and over again, we see that with modern books like this, that's going to, especially since there's no real difference in print run or any of that kind of stuff for this book, the later book is going to be the book to end up with, which is too bad. I own a copy of number 3. I wish it would be the more valuable book, but I just don't see it happening. Still, there is a lot of excitement for Jamie Reyes, Blue Beetle here, so this book actually might hold steady over the long term, but it's not really why it appears on the list. I just expect it not to climb ridiculously like I expect some other Blue Beetle books to climb. How about that Spider Boy? I'm sure that's what most of you are here for. So let's talk about the number 2 entry on the list, which is Spider Boy number 1. Wait a minute, he has his own series already? Well, kind of. There was an amalgam character in the late 90s for Spider-Boy. It was Superboy and Spider-Man crossed over, and we got Spider-Boy. This appeared on the COVRPRICE Top 10, and I don't know why this book would be... people might have been jumping on it thinking that this... Hey, maybe the new Spider-Boy character, once they figured out who it was, maybe it's this character. There's no way that would happen, though, with the different rights issues regarding that character. That was just a non-starter. And that's why it appears on this list, because I think it's kind of a fun book. All those amalgam books are really fun. I think you can go pick them up, definitely, but do it when they're not on the hot list, because that way you'll save yourself some money. All right, it's time to talk about the spider in the room. This is Spider-Man number 7, the Humberto Ramos cover especially, which is the spoiler variant for this book, which is the first appearance and first cover appearance of Spider-Boy. This book, everybody's seen it a million times now. It's a huge deal. It's going for, I think the last time I looked, it was going for like $30 on eBay. And here's the thing. There's already a slew of second printings and exclusives announced for this character. This character is going to be done to death here very soon. Oversaturated, modern character that's a iteration of another character with a whole bunch of exclusives and ratios out there. Yeah, that's a recipe for disaster. Remember how hot Tosin was, Black Panther 3? I think it's a really good comparison character for this character. That book was pretty cool. The second printing, there was one cover for the second printing that had him on it, and that book is still available at COVRPRICE all day long. The second printings for this are going to be insane, but I'm not even talking about the second printings. I'm talking about the first printing. Unless this character becomes literally the next Miles Morales, there is going to be nothing for this character going forward, because there are literally hundreds of spider characters at this point. We do have Across the Spider-Verse coming soon, so that's going to be a hot button for a lot of speculators. They're going to try to make some quick bucks on this, but keep in mind you are spreading your chips very thinly across that roulette table of speculation here, because there are so many spider characters. Spider-Punk, Spider-UK, everybody's out there. So if you bought this book on FOC, awesome. You're probably set up doing really well. If you're picking it up at $30 on eBay right now or more, ooh, boy, I don't know. This is a very high risk, low reward kind of book for me, because first of all, this book was open order, and Dan Slott was out there saying that this is going to be a huge key book and you should pick it up. So a lot of people went heavy on this book, I bet. And you have all this second print stuff I mentioned earlier, which is going to help dilute the market for this character. I am out. I had a 5-pack pre-ordered that I'm still waiting on from Things from Another World of the first print, the Humberto Ramos cover. And yeah, cool, I'll have those, but I have a feeling they're going to be worth less by the time I get them in a month. So that is the top 5 not to buy for this week. Let me know what you think about the list in the comments down below. And on your way down there, if you want to consider becoming a channel member, that's awesome. That's where all these lovely people came from, and they all help me make this channel every week. So I really appreciate all of their support. Thank you so much for my channel members and just for watching the video. And until next time, I want to remind you, as always, hey, 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 hey. Read comics every day.